Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a beautiful day and thank you for joining me for another one of my sketchbook videos. This is sketchbook video number 15 if I'm not mistaken, and my sketchbook work for this week involved me creating a pen and ink sketch of a cat. I am sharing everything from my preliminary sketch right here. As you can see, I am working on achieving those effective proportions and shapes and everything completely freehand. And then I am going to show you how I start developing different textures and values using pen and ink. And at the very end of this process, I set aside my drawing pens and I bring in my little tub of black ink so that I can further darken darkest values as well as paint my background with black. It's a little tub of ink that I bought for Inktober a couple of years ago, I believe, via Amazon. And it's from Speedball. I'm gonna make sure to leave a link to that product down below in the description box in case you're interested in checking it out. So I'm going to be really honest with you guys and share the fact that I had never ever attempted to draw a cat before with pen and ink. I have practiced drawing animals with graphite in a more realistic way. I also have some practice painting animals using watercolor and even acrylic paint. But pen and ink is a whole nother kind of beast and challenge for me because we are creating textures and values using mark making. And this can be very, very challenging, especially when sketching certain kinds of subjects. At least it is for me. So something I have definitely found in my own pen and ink sketching journey is that some types of subjects are easier for me to sketch than others. And mostly this comes down to the subject's texture, right? Because depending on the texture and the characteristics that we have to describe of the subject on hand, we have to stay mindful of the particular mark making technique or alternative shading technique that we're using in order to properly describe that. Because if we don't stay mindful throughout the process, we can end up creating textures that we weren't intending to create, or make certain areas look way too flat because we end up overdoing it with the marks in that specific area. And so just a couple of things that I've always made sure to do since I've started learning more about this medium is I always make sure to visualize the specific alternative shading techniques or mark making techniques that I'm going to be using for this specific piece on hand, whether I'm going to be using hatching, cross hatching, contouring, scribbling, stippling, etc. What goes best for that particular subject? Now, this isn't to say that you cannot use any or all of the alternative shading techniques to draw anything at all. You can use cross-hatching to draw anything from a portrait to a house, and you can use stippling or scribbling to draw or sketch anything from a flower to a car. You can use anything you want. But I think it really comes down to the art style that you're going for and how easy it is you want to make it for yourself to achieve a three-dimensional form via the development of different values, as well as how realistically and how easily you want to recreate the textures on hand. Because, just as an example, if I had used cross-hatching to shade in and create textures in this cat, then that wouldn't look like fur because cross-hatching is created with straight lines. And as you can see, I am creating the illusion of fur via curved, irregular lines. So while I could have developed a sense of three-dimensional form using cross-hatching in this particular subject, it would have been difficult to create the illusion of fur. All this said, you can definitely combine alternative shading techniques to develop the illusions of your liking. So all I am saying here is give thought to the techniques that you're going to be using and where before getting started with your sketching process. And the other thing that I have learned is so important and that I always make sure to do nowadays is to stay mindful throughout my sketching process. Because ink is a permanent medium and we're not going to be able to erase our mistakes. And while little imperfections and little mistakes are perfectly fine and we can definitely make them less noticeable, staying mindful throughout the process is going to help ensure that those mistakes are a lot smaller and less identifiable. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go quiet now. If you have any questions about anything that I just explained or want to know anything else at all, please let me know in a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Another thing is I just hit 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube and I'm so happy about this. And am finally going to get around to doing another Q&A video. I've only done, I believe, 2 in the past. And as many of you that have been subscribers for a while now probably already know, I don't get on camera to talk about myself very frequently. I do it on Patreon every month though. Shout out to my Patreons, you're amazing. But here on YouTube, not only do I still find it a little bit intimidating to step in front of the camera and share personal things about myself, even 2 years after having started my channel, but it also comes down to me wanting to share something that is helpful for you and not making things about myself. Having said this, I am so happy that this community is growing and I am totally willing to share more about myself if you'd find it helpful. If you're interested in getting to know more about me, I totally would be willing to do that. So just ask away, let me know what you want to know, and I'll prepare that video for you. And last but not least, before leaving you with the rest of this video, I want to welcome all of you new people just visiting my channel today for the very first time. I am so very happy that you found me, and do consider subscribing because every single week I share new videos with art tips, drawing and painting tutorials, and encouragement for aspiring artists. I would absolutely love for you to become part of this growing art community. Alright everyone, that is it for this video. I really hope that you found it helpful or inspiring and that you go and do some sketchbook work for yourself. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up because it really helps support the work that I'm doing here on YouTube and helps my channel get in front of more people. Thank you so very much for watching. From the very bottom of my heart, it means the world. Don't forget to subscribe and see you very soon.